Welcome to episode number 3 of Planting Chocolate Trees. Today, we'll give you an overview of how Tablea is made and also show you some recipes that you can follow.
We start off from the cacao pod, and when we harvest, you will see wet beans. There are two processes from there. You could ferment the beans or you could just sun-dry them. So some actually just sun-dry the beans automatically without fermenting. From the fermented and dried beans, these beans are going to be roasted in a roaster. It will then be cracked and winnowed. The winnowing process is basically just a separation of the shell from the nibs. We will then go into grinding. Ang cacao kasi po ay may cocoa butter or yung oil ng cacao. So once it goes through the grinder, it becomes like a chocolate paste. No? So yung tinatawag na chocolate liquor, and then once you have that chocolate paste, you can then mold it to whatever form you like. No? So this is our molds, no? So medyo may pagka-flour, and then you could actually mold it also na parang ito. So this is like a 1 kilo Tablea block. If you want us to make a video of a step-by-step process on how we make our Tablea, please comment on the comment sections below, and we will make that in our future episode. So Shiela, take it away.
For the first recipe, the traditional Filipino hot chocolate, the ingredients are 2 to 3 discs of Tablea, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup milk, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar that you prefer. In this recipe, I'll be using coconut sugar, but you can also use any sweetener that you prefer. If you'd like to use regular white sugar, brown sugar, or a healthier alternative, you can also use stevia. So for our first step, you need to boil the water. So we're putting 1 cup of water here and wait until it boils. Usually, the traditional Filipino hot chocolate is made with molenillo and abadirol. But if you don't have those at home, then you can just use a heavy bottom saucepan like this. And if you don't have abadirol, you can just use a wire whisk. So we'll just wait for this to boil and then add 2 to 3 discs of the Tablea. I prefer to use 2 because later on we'll add milk and that would still make the hot chocolate creamy. Once it completely dissolves, we just wait for this to simmer for about 5 minutes until it becomes thick. Actually, you can drink this pure without sugar or milk if you prefer. But this is unsweetened or 100% pure Tablea. So if you're not used to the taste, it might be too bitter for you. Okay, so once it thickens, you can add the rest of the ingredients. If you want it creamier and sweeter, you can add any sweetener you prefer. So here I'm just going to add about 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. And then 1/4 cup milk. And then we let this simmer again for another 3 to 5 minutes. So once your hot chocolate is already thick, you can use a batidor to aerate para magkaroon ng froth yung hot chocolate. And then you just roll the batidor in between your palms. This recipe is good for 1 cup of hot chocolate. For our second recipe, we'll be doing spiced hot chocolate. This is similar to the Mexican hot chocolate, and in this recipe, what we'll need is 2 cups of milk, your Tablea, maybe 2 to 3 discs as well, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and some spices: cinnamon, nutmeg, and cayenne pepper. A little bit of vanilla extract. So we'll start off by heating the milk and the sugar. So kung meron kayo sa bahay na parang ganito, you can use this to make your hot chocolate as well. For those of you who don't want to use milk or you want the milk alternative, we haven't tried this, but I think soy milk will be also good for this recipe. So once the milk and the sugar comes to a boil, then we add the discs of Tableya. So for this recipe, we'll add 2 to 3, and then we wait until it melts. Once the Tableya dissolves in the milk and sugar mixture, we can add our spices. 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. I don't want it to be too spicy, so I'll add just a pinch of cayenne pepper. And then we'll add our vanilla extract. So we whisk this again and just simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. With the Mexican hot chocolate, they also use a batidor or a batidor to mix the hot chocolate. Okay, so after about 2 to 3 minutes or until the hot chocolate thickens, then you're ready to go. This is your Mexican hot chocolate. So for our last recipe, what we're having is a Colombian hot chocolate recipe. So ang story nito is that we have some friends who went to Colombia and then sent us a photo of their hot chocolate, and the secret ingredient for a Colombian hot chocolate is actually mozzarella cheese. For this recipe is 1 cup of milk and the sugar. Okay, so once it boils, we can add our Tableya discs. For this recipe, we'll add 3. So we'll just let this simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes until it thickens. So once it's thick, you just pour it over the mug with the mozzarella cheese inside. And this should be enjoyed with a spoon. So this Colombian hot chocolate recipe is best enjoyed with a spoon so that you can get the gooey cheese inside. Let's have a taste. It's different. You get the gooey cheese and that creamy and rich chocolate taste. So I hope you enjoyed the 3 recipes that we shared to you. The first one is the traditional Filipino hot chocolate. The second is the Mexican or spiced hot chocolate. And the last one is our Colombian hot chocolate with mozzarella cheese. So we have here Ken who will try the recipes that we did today and see ano yung pinakagusto niya. What's that?
Nakainit eh.
Oops.
San-san mo na pinunasan?
Anong lasa?
Chocolatey. May alat dahil sa cheese. Ito, ano to?
Secret. What can you taste?
Halo-halo eh.
Like?
Nutmeg.
Oh, talaga?
Meron ba?
Oh, meron.
Ito, ano to?
That's the chocolate.
Yes.
Chocolate. So, which among the 3 is your favorite?
Gusto ko yung may cheese.
Wait, you have to share!
So if you've enjoyed this video and would love to learn more about cacao and chocolates, watch out for our next episode and join us on our chocolate journey.
Until next time!
Bye!